In this video, we're going to talk about short naps and wakenings in the night. It's really common for children to have short naps, so that last less than 60 minutes. So typical is a 45-minute nap, or you see wakenings happening at night. Why is this happening? There's a couple of reasons, but the most common one is sleep cycles. We all wake in the night, we all go through sleep cycles in the night, but we are able to transition from one cycle to another. For many little children, this is really difficult, and sometimes it needs to be taught, and that's where independent sleeping comes into play. If we teach our children to become independent sleepers, when they wake from a sleep cycle in the middle of the night or even through a nap, they're able to transition from one sleep cycle to another without any help. However, if our little ones are helped to sleep, or they need a certain soother to go back to sleep, or even to help them fall asleep initially, when they wake up from a sleep cycle, most of the time they expect that same way of going to sleep through each ending sleep cycle. So I'll give you an example. If your little one is held or rocked to sleep, they fall asleep beautifully. You put them down really slowly so they're not aware that they're going into the cot, and they sleep. They're coming up to the end of their first sleep cycle, which normally lasts between 45 minutes to maybe 50 minutes. You could even get a 30-minute sleep cycle. Once that sleep cycle is coming to an end and they are moving from a light sleep into the deep sleep and then going back into light sleep again, this is where the transition is really difficult for little ones, and they wake up from their sleep cycle and they expect to be going back to sleep how they initially fell asleep, which means either falling asleep, being rocked, or held to sleep. And that's where you probably find yourself in a situation that your little one is having a short nap or is waking up in the middle of the night, because however they initially went to sleep is how they expect to go back to sleep. For some parents, this is absolutely fine, and they're happy to continue to use the way they fell asleep to always do the same method when they wake up from nighttime sleep or even for naps. For others, they want the longer sleep. And if that is you and you do want your child to transition from one sleep cycle to another sleep cycle independently, that's where I can help you teach your little one to become a self-settler, so you see longer sleeps in their everyday sleep. This brings me on to wakeful windows, which we've touched upon on the first video, and it's about making sure that our little ones are going to sleep at the right time, because again, if they're undertired or overtired, that can also affect the length of the nap. In terms of wakenings at night time, it has got to do with sleep cycles, but at the same time, it's about making sure that they've had the right amount of daytime sleep for their age in order to have a restful sleep at night. If your little one is only having a 45-minute nap during the day and maybe having 2 of those, but could potentially be having a total of 3 hours daytime sleep, and they're going to sleep at night, they could also be restless and waking up in the night because the lack of daytime sleep. So it's really important that if you are in a situation where your child is waking up quite a few times in the middle of the night, you know they're not hungry and you know it's just for comfort, or they're just restless, they're stirring, they're uncomfortable, and you can just see that they're still tired in their sleep, increase the naps. Okay, try and give them a much longer nap. And if you feel like you are trying and the naps just keep stopping at one cycle, then you need to look at the wakeful window and potentially see if you can get your child to become an independent sleeper. And that's where I can help you. So please get in touch if that is the case for you. So just to summarize, with short naps and for wakenings at night, there's 2 things you need to look at. The wakeful window is the wakeful window that you're introducing for the next sleep, the right wakeful window for your little one. And the second part is, how is your little one falling asleep? Are they dependent on someone or something to fall asleep? So when they wake up from a sleep cycle, they expect that same method to go back to sleep. Or is your little one an independent sleeper but is still restless? If that's the case, then increase the level of daytime sleep, and that might help them have a restful sleep at night.